I'm Greg Hull. I'm the owner of Fraser's Butchers in Bolton. I think like most people, you fall into butchery. I started as a young lad, probably 12. It was an old-fashioned thing where Mum used to go shopping every day and I'd be tagging along, and then I lost my dad when I was about 13, and the butcher then gave me a job, I think a little bit to give us a bit of income really, because obviously 1973 times were hard, and I'd noticed as I was growing up, the street where we lived, there was only 2 people with cars. One of them was Kevin Kirkley, the butcher, and as a young lad I'd watched my dad getting on his pedal bike to pedal into Manchester. He was a postman, and I kept thinking, these butchers, there's something's going on here, because they all seem to have a car. We just come in with a traditional butcher's shop with a little bit of a twist. I've been here about 29 years. When I bought the shop, it just literally was 2 metres a counter. When I first came, I felt that the shop had potential. I thought that the area gave me the scope to supply the stuff I wanted to do. You know, I've always worked for people that had a real passion for forward thinking, straying away from traditional butchery. But I mean, I remember back then, right, we're going to start boning out chickens. And I remember the manager saying, why would you want to boning out a chicken? They just buy a chicken. He said, no, we're going to do boneless chicken breasts. And it was like, that was light years ahead of what any other butchers were doing. Some of the products in the counter, like the lemon and coriander, which is a Vestagen, it's must have been doing that product for 30 years. Meatballs the same. They were the first 2 products I introduced after seeing a roadshow with Mike Winrow and Alison, one of the girls in the back. And we just steadily introduced more and more ready meals. You know, most people that come and have a look at our display comment on the variety, the colour, the customers especially. You've got to make sure that you're giving your customer something that they can't source from Tesco's. And I think that's one of the places where Dalziel have really stepped in with their products, their sauces, marinades, things like that, because they've really done all the donkey work for us. I think the supermarkets are looking to the meat industry, to the butchers' shops that are still trading, because they're thinking, what are they doing that's so special? Why have we not closed them down? And that's simply because of the special sort of attention to detail that we're able to give to the meat. 28 days is our minimum that we'll sell anything at. So it just helps with the flavour, the tenderness, and I think that's the butcher's secret. We can do this, we've got control. The way we then store them, and then the butchering skills, they're all things that add up to us producing the perfect steak, and that's what makes the difference, I feel. I'm lucky that we've got good staff. I'm also lucky that my eldest son's decided to come in the business with us. It's sort of a real family knit. You know, all the staff get on together. We all try and look after each other. This is Kevin, our shop butcher. Hello. This is the actual gentleman who I started work with when I was 16. So it's his fault I'm here, basically. This is Thomas, who's been with us since he was 14 as a Saturday lad. This young lady started at the age of 13 as a Saturday girl. And we owe quite a lot to this young lady, because she introduced pastry to us in a Magimix some years ago. Yeah, she'd wishing perhaps she hadn't now, yeah. This is where most of the meat production goes on. This young gentleman here is Andrew, he's my son. He joined the business about 5 years ago, full time. Worked obviously again as a Saturday lad. Did work for Dalziel for a time as a rep, but decided he'd come back into the meat industry on the retail side.
I've always worked here since I could reach the top of the block and I was able to scrub it. I was always eager to come into work and have a go at copying what my dad was doing and things like that. And as time's moved on, I've decided like this is what I want to do for my job.
The gentleman here is Callum. He's our latest apprentice. He's training with Meat Ipswich. Started again as a Saturday lad. They do probably 18 months with Meat Ipswich where they're learning some of the technical aspects, hygiene, health and safety. But really the only way to learn butchering is with a knife in your hand. Dare we forget Caroline? This young lady's worked for us again since being 12. This is Alison's sister. Everybody we employ has got a passion for food. That's the secret, I think. And I don't think you could do this job without that passion,
No,
can you? I honestly think there's never been a better time to be a butcher. If a young lad from Newton Heath at 16 can go into a trade and 10 years later buy that business and then progress on. You know, a banker can't do that. You know, you get a job in Barclays Bank, you can't buy it and own the bank, but you can in a butcher's shop. If you've got the ambition, you can take this industry, this job, right to the top. You know, and I think there's never been a better time to be a butcher.